A narcissistic parent is a parent affected by narcissism or narcissistic personality disorder. Typically, narcissistic parents are exclusively and possessively close to their children and may be especially envious of, and threatened by, their child's growing independence. The result may be what has been termed a pattern of narcissistic attachment, with the child considered to exist solely to fulfill the parent's wishes and needs. Narcissistic people with low self-esteem feel the need to control how others regard them, fearing they will be blamed or rejected and personal inadequacies exposed. They are self-absorbed, some to the point of grandiosity. And being preoccupied with protecting their self-image, they tend to be inflexible, and lack the empathy necessary for child raising. Characteristics: narcissism tends to play out intergenerationally, with narcissistic parents producing either narcissistic or codependent children in turn. Whereas a self-confident parent, the good enough parent can allow a child its autonomous development, the narcissistic parent may instead use the child as a means to promote their own image. The father concerned with self-enhancement, with being mirrored and admired by a son, may leave the latter feeling a puppet to his father's emotional intellectual demands. To maintain their self-esteem, and protect their vulnerable selves, narcissists need to control others' behavior, particularly that of their children seen as extensions of themselves. Thus narcissistic parents may speak of carrying the torch, maintaining the family image, or making mum or dad proud, and may reproach their children for exhibiting weakness, being too dramatic, or not meeting the standard of what is expected. As a result, children of narcissists learn to play their part, and to perform their special skill, especially in public or for others. But typically do not have many memories of having felt loved or appreciated for being themselves, rather associating their experience of love and appreciation with conforming to the demands of the narcissistic parent. Destructive narcissistic parents have a pattern of consistently being the focus of attention, exaggerating, seeking compliments and putting their children down. Punishment in the form of blame, criticism or emotional blackmail, and attempts to induce guilt, may be used to ensure compliance with the parent's wishes and their need for narcissistic supply. Children of narcissists, children of a resistant, more stubborn temperament parent defend against being supportive of others in the house. They observe how the selfish parents get their needs met by others. They learn how manipulation and using guilt gets the parent what he or she wants. They develop a false self and use aggression and intimidation to get their way. The sensitive, guilt-ridden children in the family learn to meet the parent unregistered trademark S needs for gratification and try to get love by accommodating the whims and wishes of the parent. The child unregistered trademark S normal feelings are ignored, denied and eventually repressed in attempts to gain the parent unregistered trademark S we love. Guilt and shame keep the child locked into this developmental arrest. Their aggressive impulses and rage become split off and are not integrated with normal development. These children develop a false self as a defense mechanism and become codependent in relationships. The child's unconscious denial of their true self perpetuates a cycle of self-hatred, fearing any reminder of their authentic self. In literature, Sons and Lovers is considered to have explored a narcissistic mother. The Metamorphosis is considered to cover a narcissistic father. Sylvia Plath's difficulties have been associated with a need to please a narcissistic father through public display. The novel Loverboy by the author Victoria Riddle is written from the perspective of a mother exhibiting characteristics of extreme narcissistic parenting. See also. References. Further reading, Gardner, F. To enliven her was my living thoughts on compliance and sacrifice as consequences of malignant identification with a narcissistic parent. British Journal of Psychotherapy Volume 21 Issue 1, pages 49–62, Brown, Nina W. Children of the Self-Absorbed, A Grown-Up's Guide to Getting Over Narcissistic Parents, Campbell, Lady Colin Daughter of Narcissus, A Family's Struggle to Survive Their Mother's Narcissistic Personality Disorder, Donaldson Pressman, S. and Pressman, R.M. The Narcissistic Family, Diagnosis and Treatment, Guillaume, Ilan Trapped in the Mirror Adult Children of Narcissists and Their Struggle for Self, Hotchkiss. Sandy and Masterson, James F. Why is it always about you? The 7 Deadly Sins of Narcissism see Chapter 9 The Narcissistic Parent, McBride, Carol. Will I ever be good enough? Healing the Daughters of Narcissistic Mothers, Miller. The Drama of the Gifted Child, How Narcissistic Parents Form and Deform the Emotional Lives of Their Talented Children, Payson, Eleanor. The Wizard of Oz and Other Narcissists, Coping with the One-Way Relationship in Work, Love, and Family. See Chapter 5, External Links, The Narcissistic Parent.